There's something deeply comforting about a farmhouse. The quiet rhythm of nature surrounding it, the wide open spaces, the smell of freshly cut wood and sun-warmed fields. But today, the farmhouse has evolved. It is no longer just a symbol of rural life, it is a design philosophy, a way of creating spaces that embody simplicity, connection, and comfort while embracing the sleek conveniences of the modern world. This is the modern farmhouse, a home that feels timeless and rooted, yet fresh and stylish. At its heart, the modern farmhouse is about balance. It balances rustic authenticity with clean minimalism, rough textures with refined finishes, nostalgia with innovation. It is a design style that welcomes you in, makes you feel grounded, and whispers, slow down, breathe, stay a while. Exteriors, a new icon of home. The first impression of a modern farmhouse often begins with its exterior. Picture white painted siding glowing softly in the morning light, crisp black-framed windows punctuating the facade like modern strokes on a classic canvas. The gable roof, simple and strong, recalls farmhouses of the past, while wide porches invite you to sit, to gather, to watch sunsets unhurried. Natural wood accents, whether in beams, shutters, or front doors, bring a sense of warmth against the cooler palette of black and white. Stonework, often used at the base of the home or in pathways, grounds the building firmly in the landscape. And large, expansive windows blur the line between indoors and out, letting the beauty of nature frame every view. This architecture is not about grandeur or ornament. It is about honesty, a straightforward structure that feels approachable and enduring. Yet, within that simplicity lies elegance. The modern farmhouse exterior is both nostalgic and forward-looking, standing as a symbol of comfort reimagined for the present day. Open and welcoming spaces. Step inside, and the philosophy of openness reveals itself. Modern farmhouses often embrace open-concept layouts, where walls give way to fluid connections between kitchen, dining, and living spaces. The idea is to encourage gathering, to allow light to move freely, and to make the home feel expansive, even if the footprint is modest. These interiors are guided by functionality and flow. High ceilings, sometimes accented with exposed beams, add drama and volume, while shiplap walls or board and batten details recall the hand-built character of traditional rural homes. Flooring plays a key role too. Wide plank hardwood and warm, earthy tones grounds the home, while polished concrete offers a more contemporary spin. The goal is always comfort. Nothing feels too precious, nothing too staged. A modern farmhouse layout is designed to be lived in, to host friends, to let children play, to welcome guests who never want to leave. The soul of interior, colors and atmosphere. Step further into a modern farmhouse, and you're greeted by an atmosphere that feels calm, welcoming, and quietly sophisticated. The color palette is almost always neutral at its core, built from layers of whites, creams, soft grays, and earthy taupes. These tones create a canvas that feels light and airy, while natural textures provide warmth and depth. White walls are a signature. They brighten spaces and allow architectural details, like beams, wainscoting, or rustic wood, to shine. But within this simplicity, subtle contrasts are introduced. The matte black of window frames, the soft beige of linen drapery, or the muted green of a farmhouse-style door. Sometimes, deep navy or charcoal accents are added for depth, keeping the space grounded and modern. Lighting is essential to the atmosphere. In a modern farmhouse, sunlight is the first and most important light source. Oversized windows, glass doors, and even skylights flood interiors with natural light, shifting the home's mood with the rhythm of the day. But when the sun sets, carefully chosen fixtures take over: iron lantern pendants above the dining table, farmhouse sconces by the entryway, or minimalist chandeliers with Edison bulbs hanging gracefully above an island. The result is a home that glows, never harsh, always warm. It feels like a sanctuary where modern clarity and rustic honesty meet in harmony. Materials, the honest textures. Modern farmhouse design thrives on authentic materials. Wood is the soul: reclaimed barn wood, oak beams, wide plank flooring, or walnut shelving. It can be smooth and polished, or rough and weathered, but it always brings warmth and history into the home. Stone is another key player, often seen in fireplaces, kitchen backsplashes, or outdoor walkways. Its raw, earthy presence contrasts beautifully with sleek finishes like glass and steel. Metal is used sparingly but with impact: black steel frames in windows, brushed nickel hardware in kitchens, or matte iron lighting fixtures. It introduces a touch of modern industrial flair while keeping the farmhouse honest and grounded. Even fabrics are chosen with care: cotton, linen, wool, and leather dominate the farmhouse palette. These natural fibers bring softness and comfort, creating spaces that are not only beautiful but also deeply livable. Slip-covered sofas, oversized knit throws, and hand-woven rugs all contribute to a sense of effortless coziness. Together, these materials tell a story. They remind us of nature, of craftsmanship, of the passage of time. In a modern farmhouse, materials aren't just chosen for looks, they are chosen because they feel real. Furniture, comfort meets function. Furniture in a modern farmhouse follows one golden rule: it should be comfortable, practical, and timeless. Unlike ultramodern homes where pieces can feel sculptural or avant-garde, farmhouse furniture is about living. Sofas are oversized and inviting, often slip-covered in white or beige linen. Dining tables are large and sturdy, usually crafted from solid wood, designed to host gatherings that last late into the night. Chairs may be a mix of styles, ladder-back wooden chairs alongside upholstered end chairs, or a rustic bench paired with a sleek modern table. This mix-and-match approach adds personality and prevents the home from feeling too uniform. In bedrooms, furniture often has a handcrafted quality. Wooden bed frames, vintage-inspired dressers, and woven baskets bring character. While neutral bedding layered with quilts and throws makes the space feel like a retreat. Even in workspaces or entryways, farmhouse furniture blends old and new, a reclaimed wood desk paired with a modern chair, or a vintage console beneath a sleek mirror. The result is a home that feels curated, yet unpretentious. Above all, farmhouse furniture is meant to be used, not just admired. It invites you to sink in, to gather around, to live fully in the space. The heartbeat of everyday living. Life in a modern farmhouse is less about compartments and more about connection. Spaces are designed to flow into one another, creating a rhythm that feels natural and unforced. You move from one area to the next without noticing transitions, because every corner carries the same sense of warmth and intention. This is not a home of boundaries, but of openness, a place where gathering, resting, cooking, and celebrating blend into a seamless experience. At the core of this design philosophy is togetherness. Wide, open layouts encourage conversation, shared meals, and laughter that drifts across the home. The boundaries between cooking, eating, and relaxing blur beautifully, just as the boundary between indoors and outdoors is softened by large windows and porches that extend living spaces into nature. But even within this openness, there is balance. Modern farmhouses are never cluttered. They embrace simplicity, leaving breathing room between objects, letting textures and natural light do most of the talking. Every piece has a purpose, every detail contributes to a feeling of calm order. This is where the farmhouse sensibility aligns with modern minimalism, a deep respect for less, but better. The language of light and texture. The soul of the farmhouse isn't defined by a single object, but by how everything interacts, light with wood, stone with fabric, steel with glass. Morning light falls across shiplap walls, softening the texture of white paint. Evening shadows stretch across oak flooring, warming its tones and highlighting the grain of the wood. Texture is always layered, never flat. A reclaimed beam sits above sleek white cabinetry, reminding you of history within modernity. A rough stone fireplace contrasts with smooth plaster walls. Linen curtains soften the hardness of black-framed windows. Every contrast feels intentional, adding dimension and character to the home. This layering creates comfort. It makes the home tactile, touchable, human. Nothing is overly polished to the point of sterility, yet nothing is so rustic that it feels heavy or outdated. It is a constant dialogue between old and new, where neither voice overpowers the other. What sets the modern farmhouse apart is not just its materials or its layout, but its philosophy of living. It celebrates imperfection, the knot in the wood, the patina on the metal, the uneven texture of stone. These details aren't flaws, they're memories, carried into the present. At the same time, it welcomes innovation. Hidden storage, energy-efficient windows, modern appliances, and smart lighting systems all coexist effortlessly within the rustic framework. This balance means the home feels authentic, but also suited for today's lifestyles. The farmhouse teaches us that comfort is not only physical, but emotional. It's the feeling of being grounded when you walk through the door, of being connected to nature when you sit by a window, of being surrounded by warmth when you gather with loved ones. It is a design style that is deeply personal, because it doesn't try to impress, it tries to embrace. Living with nature, indoor meets outdoor. A modern farmhouse is never fully contained by its walls. Its heartbeat extends outward, onto porches where rocking chairs wait patiently, into gardens where herbs grow alongside wildflowers, onto patios framed by string lights glowing softly at dusk. This design does not treat the outdoors as an afterthought. Instead, it erases the line between interior and exterior, reminding us that a home is not only shelter, but a place of belonging within its natural setting. Large windows draw in sweeping views of fields, trees, or even a carefully curated courtyard in the middle of a city. Glass doors slide open to patios where meals can spill outdoors, where friends gather around a long wooden table, or where evenings end by a crackling fire pit. The modern farmhouse understands that the rhythms of the day, the rising sun, the changing seasons, the scent of rain, are just as important to comfort as furniture or finishes. Sustainability, building for the future. There is another layer to this story, one that speaks not of aesthetics, but of responsibility. The modern farmhouse often embraces sustainability. Its reliance on natural, authentic materials aligns with eco-conscious living, while its openness to innovation allows it to incorporate energy efficiency and smart technology. Reclaimed wood isn't only beautiful, it is sustainable. Stone, if locally sourced, carries less environmental weight than synthetic finishes. Wide windows not only flood the home with light but reduce the need for artificial lighting. Metal roofs last for decades, collecting rainwater and reflecting heat. Geothermal systems or solar panels, hidden quietly from view, bring modern performance to timeless structures. This marriage of rustic and modern is also a marriage of past and future, a reminder that the homes we build should respect where we come from and protect where we are going. The emotional landscape. But beyond structure, beyond style, the modern farmhouse resonates with us for deeper reasons. It speaks to nostalgia, even if we never grew up on a farm. It touches a part of us that longs for simplicity in an age of chaos, for community in a time of isolation, for authenticity in a world that often feels staged. Walking through such a home, you notice how every detail invites you to slow down. A long table tells you that meals should be shared. A wide porch says that evenings should be lingered over. A slip-covered sofa whispers that comfort matters more than perfection. And the air itself, filled with the smell of wood, the softness of fabric, the warmth of sunlight, tells you that beauty is not an extravagance, but an ease. Minimalism with warmth. Unlike cold minimalism that strips away personality, the modern farmhouse adopts a different approach: warm minimalism. Spaces are kept uncluttered, but they are not empty. Instead, they breathe. Fewer objects, but each one meaningful. Clean lines, but softened with textures that comfort. Neutral palettes, but accented with organic warmth. This minimalism is not about absence, it is about intention. The farmhouse reminds us that we don't need excess to feel complete. We need authenticity, space to breathe, and moments to cherish. It is minimalism infused with soul. The truth is, modern farmhouse design is more than just a style, it is a way of life. It values honesty in materials, generosity in spaces, and mindfulness in details. It invites connection, both with people and with nature. It celebrates simplicity without sacrificing elegance. For some, it is about creating a sanctuary from the rush of the outside world. For others, it is about honoring tradition while still embracing modern comfort. And for many, it is about finding a home that feels deeply personal, one that doesn't just look beautiful, but feels like belonging. Imagine stepping onto a wide porch at sunrise, coffee in hand, watching the world wake slowly. Imagine gathering with friends at a long wooden table, laughter echoing as the fire crackles nearby. Imagine walking barefoot across cool floors in the afternoon light, every step reminding you of the textures of life. That is the promise of the modern farmhouse, a home that not only shelters but enriches. In the end, the modern farmhouse is more than black windows and white siding. More than shiplap or wood beams. More than vintage signs or lantern lighting. It is a philosophy of how to live. It tells us to slow down. To embrace comfort. To open our homes to others. To invite the natural world inside. To value the past, while looking toward the future. And in doing so, it becomes timeless. A modern farmhouse is not just a trend, it is an enduring spirit, one that reminds us of who we are and what we long for: connection, warmth, and the beauty of simplicity. Because at the end of the day, home is not about perfection. Home is about feeling. And the modern farmhouse, perhaps more than any other design style, understands this truth.